This case becomes the enigma that has hovered over Idaho Falls now for more than 20 years. The case retains, as a cold case, remarkable urgency to move forward and find the real killer.
So I'm really excited that they've been successful in getting this DNA. I can't wait to get the results.
We sent those samples in. We're just waiting to get the details back from Cece.
The genetic genealogy had led to just these 6 cousins. But when the results came back, it seemed to eliminate all of them. And then it felt like the rug was pulled out from under me.
The thought crossed my mind that, great, we're done. I really thought that we might be at a dead end right there. And so it was really depressing.
It was a total shock. I just couldn't figure out what had gone wrong. Never before had genetic genealogy given me the wrong answer. And I think the thing that I was most afraid of was failing Carol and having to tell her that I couldn't identify him.
The state of Idaho is asking this court to impose the death penalty.
When I haven't found that answer yet, when the pieces haven't come together, the case doesn't ever leave me. It's always in the back of my mind. He's so young.
I am not the monster animal that everyone thinks I am. Judge, I ask you to spare my life. Thank you.
Thank God he didn't get the death penalty.
Little did we know.
When I met with Carol, she really impressed upon me how important it was to her that Christopher Tapp's name be cleared.
20 years of your life has been taken from you.
He'd been released, fortunately, but he still had a murder conviction hanging over his head. I had never been in a situation where there were such high stakes. I had to figure out what had gone wrong. I couldn't walk away from this and say, oh well, wasn't one of the 6, I'm done, nothing more I can do here. I knew I could not fail Carol, and Chris needs for the true killer to be found so he can be exonerated. So the bad news is we don't have a match, but it had to be a descendant of Clarence and Cleo Ussery. That can't be a coincidence. And so I went back up that tree and back down that tree. When I had done the initial research, one of the grandsons had an early marriage. He was really young, his wife even younger. She was 16. 16! I mean, that's odd. I was really surprised not to find any children from that marriage, because most people don't get married that young for no reason. So I decided to look at her parents. And my hope was that an obituary would name the daughter and any children from that marriage. But I couldn't find it. So a couple days passed. I was on an airplane and I got an email from my team member that says, I got it. Here's the obituary. And not only does it name the daughter, but it names her son. He was carrying his stepfather's surname. And in 1996, guess where he was living? Idaho Falls. Not just Idaho, but Idaho Falls. Hey everyone, how are you guys doing? You look very serious.
We're scared. We're apprehensive about what we're gonna hear.
I guess we can go over it on my screen.
She begins to lay out all of the work that she had done on the report.
And that makes him much less likely to be the subject. They only share centimorgans. Definitely not what we expect. Major problem for us. Because
We're kind of sitting here listening to this going, is she gonna give us the bad news? When is it coming?
then we might never find them.
And she just kept us on the edge of our seat. It was excruciating.
And
You're really adding a lot of drama for us on this.
I'm not adding it. I'm feeling it. We've got him.
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
Wow. Wow.
We've got him. I'm positive.
It was really emotional. It was a really emotional call. Now, we don't take anything for granted at this point, and we have to confirm all this information. But to have a lead like that after 23, 24 years, huge is probably an understatement.
His name was Brian Drips.
Brian L. Drips.
At the time of the crime, he was 30 years old. It was just a few days before his 31st birthday. He was going through a divorce. He had a child being born.
Drips had only had some minor issues. There was a couple of misdemeanors on his record. He was a concealed weapon permit holder at one point. Through our investigation, we find out that he actually was in Idaho Falls at the time.
Not just in Idaho Falls, but right across the street from her house.
It is 06:20 in the morning, and we are in Caldwell, Idaho. We're gonna go set up on our person of interest's house here. We don't know anything about where he works or what his daily activities are, so wherever he goes, we can tail him and try to figure out what he does.
We're about to pass by his house. He's at the end of this street on our left. I just did the drive-by.
His truck is still there. Mom's Durango is still there. It doesn't look like any lights are on. Vehicles are definitely there.
That's good news. All right, so this is where his house is. So the main access road that he's probably gonna use when he leaves is this one. So we've got a guy down here watching this intersection. We're up here watching this, and then we've got a guy down here north.
Is this guy potentially dangerous?
Yeah, we're not, I mean, it's something we got to keep in the back of our mind in that, you know, this is a murder investigation. So the crime is the most significant crime you can have out there. And if he gets desperate, then you never know what could happen here. We got to be careful.
It's just a waiting game now. We could be sitting here for 2 minutes up to 12 hours. This is torturous. Just watching one intersection for one car, then you start thinking to yourself, like, how often do I leave my house if it's my day off? We've been going for 5.5, almost 6 hours, just waiting.
Okay, it is our target. He is southbound. And he was smoking a cigarette that he had hanging out the window.
Man, this is it. This could be great.
We have somebody close enough to watch if that butt comes out.
So our subject is a couple cars ahead of us.
I'm trying to get there.
We've got a UC guy right behind him.
Southbound Midway.
He's got eyes on him, and those cigarette butts are like,
It's the same route that he took last night.
they're like DNA traps. It'd be perfect for collecting a sample.
Southbound there.
I think I'm behind Sage.
Sage, you just going through the construction now.
Affirm, I'm right behind Spencer.
Cigarettes on the ground right at the rumble strip. Right there, Sage. Right just past the lettering.
Where is it?
He said it's right past the rumble strip.
Dude, I'm looking for smoke. I don't see it.
I can smell it.
Oh, hey, Sage.
Huh.
There's one here. I don't know if it's it, though. Does it look fresh? There was a bunch of cigarette butts. Oh, back here? It's gonna be on your side, right, if he tossed it that way? Yeah, there's a couple over here. That one's beat to hell. They're all over, dude. We could have picked up 100 and sampled them, and we might not have got the one. It's crapshoot. It's crapshoot. And there's butts all over the place. Doggone it.